Hey, this is Anthony, RevZilla TV. We can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new REV'IT Jerez Pro Race Gauntlet, available at RevZilla.com. The next iteration in race protection from REV'IT is the Jerez Pro. You can see I have it on my left hand and I have an original Jerez to my right. Now, I will say this is the Jerez Pro, which is not replacing the Jerez. It's just the beefed up, steroided out big brother. Again, top of the food chain. We've seen the Jerez do really, really well in the premier class for years and years and years. I believe it came out in 2009. PJ Jacobson, Alvaro Batista, and you know Randy DePunier's crashed in it a ton of times. I've worn it on the track. Phenomenal glove. The REV'IT Jerez Pro takes it a step further and is an additional element or additional level of investment, but really what you're investing in is upgraded protection, a bit more flexibility, and a comfort factor here. And the comfort for me is very basic, it's very subtle. They've done is just giving you a little bit more room in the fingers, but the sizing curve still remains the same. If you look at it, it's a mixture of cowhide, goat, it's a mixture of Pitard's armor tan, and a dramatic level of protection in this dual cuffed enclosure, really to be the top of the food chain in the REV'IT line when you're taking to the track. The baby brother would be something like the Stellar, or actually it would be the Jerez, then you go down to the Stellar and really that class and order of REV'IT race gauntlets. Now let's briefly talk about size. I'm going to dive right into the features that have changed for this year, moving into this next iteration that comes in black and green, black and white, as well as this black, red, white version. Now, I'm wearing a size large, no surprises here. REV'IT's dialed in its American fit. I would be an XL in Alpine Stars. I'd be a large in Dainese. Keep that in frame of mind, guys. And remember, it's going to be an aggressive race fit that's done in all leather, and it will break in about 10%. But I meant what I said. The fingers run a hair larger, which is nice. It's a welcomed addition. I found that on my original Jerez's, they were tight in the fingers till they broke in. But again, wearing that size large, it's going to dial in right with this size chart. No surprises there. Remember, we're going to ship for free, and I'd love to hear your gut reaction to all the changes they've made to the Jerez Pro and improvements they've made. Click here, subscribe to us on RevZilla TV, and leave me comments till you're blue in the face. Now, moving into the glove itself, let's talk directly about the changes. First one you're going to notice is that you still have this aluminum coated knuckle and it still sits within an area of TPU. The difference now is it's the harmonica construction from REV'IT. Now that they own Trionic and they've raised the game on the protection side of things, you're getting better flexibility in the back of the hand. If we look at the original REV'IT Jerez, it was a non-flex version with a dual honeycomb slider here. And again, you just didn't have that flexibility. You know, A-Stars has done it for years and years and years. They put the back of the hand on a separate panel. It just flexes really well as you're moving. You're also going to notice mid-digitally, they've added some elastication there. Now, moving back, some of the other key changes, and I talked about the dual cuff design, now you have this Trionic donut. And it really sits right atop of the ball of this bone right here, which is where your ulna connects to your wrist on the lateral side of your hand. There's almost a donut, just like a donut that I'd stick a helmet on, or a donut you'd sit on if you had a hemorrhoid. It sits right on the top of that ball. It creates space. And again, remember, your hands are typically the first thing to go down if you have a get off, and you're getting additional areas of foam protection that are going to cradle the more sensitive or accident prone parts, keep you riding longer, keep you protected. Now, if I cuff this bad boy back up, you see the other key changes. Again, and now I've talked to you briefly about the fitment. I'm talking about the flexibility and comfort. Now I'm back onto protection. Notice the hand has changed here right along the heel of the hand and into the ball of the thumb. We started on the original Jerez with a dual comped honeycomb slider. Again, I love these. They're shock absorbing and they slide. Now I have another dual comp honeycomb slider on the base of the thumb here, providing a nice gap here where that scaphoid bone is. Again, area that's very accident prone. If you put your hands down, now you're going to have the ability to slide forward. You also have a dual comp honeycomb slider on the outside of the thumb where previously you had super fabric. They've done away with super fabric on the glove. Notice the accent stitching. It's very similar to the previous model. You still have that going on here. It's not going to be Kevlar thread. It's really the power. It's the power thread from REV'IT that has some flex to it. Remember, Kevlar is not great for race gloves because it's going to pull everything apart because the Kevlar yarn is actually stronger than the leather itself. Now, main construction features here. Remember, your cowhide across the back. Big ulna piece that wraps around here that is over top of that Trionic piece. That's going to be coated aluminum sitting within a TPU area right there. We talked about the split at the back of the hand. This is reinforced across the back. Remember, it's going to be an aramid or a Kevlar lining all across the back of the hand. If I took it off, you'd see that it's yellow. It's that yellow lining that moves all the way to the back. That's going to be abrasion resistant. It's also going to be good at reducing heat and friction. Moving to the fingers, you have these mid-digital TPUs that stick out. You also have some EVA foam backing them. Again, sliders at the fingers, very similar from the previous version. You also see them going up the blade of the hand. Now, if I move back around, because the top of the hand's pretty simple, you're going to notice that a few different components bring everything together here on the palm. There's actually 3. The palm is pre-curved, externally stitched. It's 100% kangaroo, which is super lightweight, super comfortable. It's going to wick sweat really well. And again, you're going to see it insides of the fingers and on your palm here. Now that's going to be kangaroo directly against your hand. There's no additional lining on the inside there. Moving into this area that's double yellow stitched here, that dual power yarn stitching, this is Pittard's Armor Tan Goat. And Pittard's Armor Tan means it's a special goat leather that has a tanning process that infuses ceramic coating on the fibers of the leather. What that does, again, it's an abrasion resistant quality that allows you to slide stronger, longer. You're going to notice on the backs of the dual honeycomb sliders, there is some EVA foam padding for additional shock absorption. And then you have Digital Goat WR100X in the control patch. Again, this is an area that's going to get the most abuse continually with your controls. Also, you're going to sweat through the glove, and this Digital Goat is going to do a better job interfacing with your controls, creating some grip. Notice it is texture, and it's going to hold up when it gets sweaty really well as you move forward and as you break the glove in. I do like the new fit scheme. I do find that these break in about 10%. I don't have any immediate gripes with this other than the price tag, which is going to be well north of that $300 mark, where your regular Jerez's are going to come in sub $300. Notice you still have your wrist adjuster strap here that's going to keep it on in the event of a crash. And again, one of the things I've always loved about this glove is the dual cuffed closure. There are a lot of single cuff race gloves on the market. Heck, REV'IT makes a handful of them, but I do love the dual cuff closure. I've worn REV'IT gloves on the track with my REV'IT race suits. I like the way they work. I find they're very secure, and they offer a great deal of support. And again, for me, the big thing too, when you think about the new fit scheme or the fact that it's going to feel more broken in right out of the box, I really like that because you're focusing on your riding, you're focusing on your tuck, you're focusing on your line, you're not focusing on the fact that you're wearing any gear that might not be broken in yet. And for me, that's really important. I don't like to take my focus off the road or off the task at hand. So remember, as this is the next generation in technical full race gauntlet at the professional level from REV'IT, you can start with my information, which really allows you to help differentiate it, understand why it sits head and shoulders above the Jerez, which is a tremendous glove in its own right, and really know what you're getting. But read other customer reviews by clicking right here and visiting RevZilla.com. There are typically tons of them. You don't have to take my word for it. See the trackside experience that folks are typically having with it. As always, we'll ship for free over $40, and it does come in actually a nice trackside bag. They've kind of beefed up the packaging that comes in, so you're able to kind of throw it in the trunk and haul it around with you. It comes with its own little stable there. And as always, if you want to talk to a gear geek, so many of the guys here at RevZilla, we all go to the track. See us at RevZilla.com, 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown of the new Jerez Pro glove from REV'IT. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.